Hey guys, and welcome back into the channel. Today it's time to talk about one of the most important topics to me because of the fact that it revolves around one of the guys that I love and look up to more than any athlete in professional sports, and that's the greatest quarterback of all time, the greatest football player of all time, Tom Brady. There's a discussion that's been going on for years. If you watch shows like ESPN First Take, Undisputed on FS1, Around the Horn, PTI, any of these different types of ESPN, Fox Sports 1 type shows, debate shows, the topic always comes up of Brady and Rodgers. Who's better? Who's the best? That's a video or a topic I'll get into in another video. But a lot of the points that I'll make in this video will be used in that video as well. But what I want to be talking about today is this Patriots dynasty. This run they've had since 2000, 2001. How much of it is a credit to Tom Brady? How much of it is a credit to Bill Belichick? And who deserves more credit? And I gotta say, in terms of when I watch ESPN, when I watch sports talk shows, sports radio, anything like that, I feel like I'm pretty calm when it comes to it. I listen to both sides' viewpoints, and I typically don't get too high or too low on anything they say. I just, I enjoy it for the entertainment value. But this particular topic, out of all the topics that I've heard discussed on shows over the years, this is the one topic that's always fired me up, always pissed me off. And one is because I love Tom Brady and I think he's that amazing. But you throw in the fact that it's just so ridiculous. And that's the argument that one guy in particular, I'm so tired of this guy. I remember when Max Kellerman joined ESPN First Take, I thought it was a good move. Obviously, I like Skip better for all the crazy and just ridiculous things he says, but the entertainment value that he brings to a show, I really love that about him. But when Max Kellerman came on, I thought it would be a good thing in terms of, keep my interest in the show. I would continue to enjoy it. But I found myself not enjoying First Take like I used to. The chemistry that Skip and Stephen A. had I thought was outstanding. But this particular topic really turned me off to Max, and then just once I heard this particular opinion he had on Brady, everything else he said, at that point I didn't like him, so nothing else he said made a difference to me. But it's the fact that Max Kellerman continues, and there's others as well, but he's the one that comes to mind just right off the bat because I've heard him discuss this so many times. It's the fact that Brady is not the greatest of all time. Or, well, this is the thing about Max Kellerman. He'll say Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time, but then follow it up by saying Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback. And then a couple days ago, after the comeback against the Bears, he then said Aaron Rodgers is the greatest football player of all time. So he contradicts himself on numerous occasions. But Max Kellerman likes to say that the reason Rodgers is better than Brady is because Rodgers does it all himself, and Brady plays in a system that Bill Belichick runs. He plays in Bill Belichick's system. Now, there's been other people that made these points to Max Kellerman, but he always throws a bunch of crap in and says a bunch of dumb shit and gets off the hook, and they let him off the hook. I wish I could get on that show and ask Max about this, or debate him particularly on this topic. And that's the fact that we can go ahead and look. I mean, it's a fact. It's not an opinion. Bill Belichick's career before Tom Brady, not all that impressive. In Cleveland, did not have much success, was ultimately fired. Went to New York. His first season in New England, he win 5 games in his first season in New England? And then, come the second season, what happens? Tom Brady takes over. A dynasty is born. It's not a coincidence the fact that this guy had been a coach for, 6, 7 years? He'd been a coach for plenty of years before he got Tom Brady, and his record sucked ass. That's a fact. When people bring that up to Max Kellerman, they like to bring up the fact that, well, he plays in Bill Belichick's system, and when Tom Brady's not there, we've seen that Bill Belichick's team still wins. Okay. The instances where Tom Brady was not around, one was just this, last year or 2 years ago, whatever the hell it was, when Jimmy Garoppolo and Brissett played, a game or two, but when they played the 4 games, it went 3-1 without him. Well, Jimmy Garoppolo looked pretty goddamn good for the 49ers last season. He won with them, so maybe it's, for one, Garoppolo is just pretty good. maybe it helped the fact that he was learning under Tom Brady for all these years. Just like Aaron Rodgers, shut up, motorcycle. Just like Aaron Rodgers was learning under Brett Favre for all those years. I don't think that's a bad way to start for a backup quarterback. When he gets to sit behind some of the greats for years and years and years, it's not a coincidence that when they finally get their shot, oftentimes they succeed. And like I said, we saw with Jimmy Garoppolo last year in San Francisco. This guy's got game. The fact that the Patriots went 3-1 without Brady to start the season is not a surprise. The fact that they play in a weak AFC East, which is true, that helps. I mean, so for one, the 3-1 start doesn't matter. Jimmy Garoppolo looks to be a stud. I think he's going to be a very good quarterback for a number of years. So that's one of the two instances. That one, Max, shut up. You're wrong about that. And the second one is he loves bringing this up. Matt Castle won 11-5. Matt Castle won 11 games with the Patriots in Bill Belichick's system. How did that happen? He loves to bring that up. And this is the part where other people that are arguing with Max piss me off because they don't continue. Once he says that, they kind of go, they don't know what to say. This is what you say to Max. And this is what you say to anybody when they bring that up. Matt Castle, the year after, he won 11-5 with New England, and also, if anybody doesn't know, since Brady took over, New England's missed the playoffs one time, and it just happened to be that year. Yeah, they went 11-5. They did not make the playoffs without Tom Brady. Bill Belichick could not get New England to the playoffs. So I don't care if they won 11 games. They did not accomplish what they were supposed to accomplish. What Bill Belichick, the greatest of all time, was supposed to do. But the thing that people don't say to Max Kellerman, Matt Castle, the year after he went to New England, you know where he went? He went to Kansas City. And you know what his record was the following year? 10-6. So when Max likes to bring up Matt Castle won 11 games to discredit Tom Brady and to prove that Bill Belichick's the greatest because of the fact that he got Matt Castle in 11 games, well, he went to Kansas City the next year and won 10. So maybe it's the fact that Matt Castle for a couple years wasn't all that bad. Obviously, we all remember the end of his career when he was just fucking brutal. But he had some good years. I mean, he was never phenomenal, but he showed there for a couple seasons that he was a capable quarterback. People don't remember that. Max Kellerman's a moron. Do not enjoy listening to him. And the thing that annoys me is he thinks he's so fucking smart. Stephen A., I like him. You know, he can make me laugh. I don't always agree with him, but I enjoy him. He's entertaining. Max, I don't find entertaining. He just annoys me. And the fact that, so exactly what I said, those two times that people like to throw in, oh, Brady was gone and the Patriots still won, didn't matter. Because I gave you reasons both times why it happened. The fact of the matter is the Patriots have won 5 Super Bowls. They've been in 8. They would not be there without Tom Brady. And, to say they'd be in 8 Super Bowls without Bill Belichick, that maybe would not have happened either. I think I'm not saying Bill Belichick's not great, but the fact that people like to discredit Tom Brady and throw Bill Belichick as the reason to discredit Tom Brady, I don't like that. I think Belichick's a very good coach. I don't necessarily like him. He's a guy that gives me like a Nick Saban vibe. I don't really like either one of those two. Kind of an arrogance and stuff like that, but he is a very good coach. I'm not going to sit here and deny that. But he on the coaching level is not as good as Tom Brady on the quarterback level. Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. He gets to the Super. I understand people like to, again, throw in, oh, Rodgers is better because he has no one around him in Green Bay. I'll agree. When you look at his playoff numbers, the defense, atrocious. Terrible performances, a lot of the playoff games he's lost. But the receiving core he's had over the years, better than New England's ever had. Jordy Nelson, Greg Jennings, Devontae Adams right now would be easily the Patriots' best receiver. Who else he had? Donald Driver, Bubba Franks. He had a lot of really good guys. Bubba Franks was a tight end, but he's had a lot of really good receivers. Tom Brady's had Randy Moss for 1-2 years, one of which he went 16-0. Julian Edelman, 7th round quarterback out of Kent State, was on the Patriots for years before he even got an opportunity as a receiver. Was just strictly a special teams guy until Wes Welker left. Chris Hogan, undrafted. Riley McCarron has been on the roster. I think I actually just caught him, but he was undrafted. Danny Amendola, undrafted. Philip Dorsett is now there. He was a first-round pick, but, Indianapolis gave up on him. The fact of the matter is, go through the years he's had. This guy is a fat ass walking down the road. Hello, sir. and ma'am, I don't know if that's a guy or a girl, doesn't matter. I should ask them if they think Tom Brady's the best, and I'll judge them based on that. But, yeah, the whole idea that Tom Brady's not the greatest of all time, to me, it's just laughable, especially if you want to say at the quarterback position. Obviously, Lawrence Taylor was great. But at the quarterback position, to put anyone, especially Aaron Rodgers, who's won 1 Super Bowl compared to 5. Now, I understand you're going to say, oh, well, it's not just an individual sport, or whatever. Tom Brady is the reason that they've won 5 Super Bowls. He wasn't just a part of it. He carries these teams just as much as Aaron Rodgers has. If Jimmy Garoppolo was the backup in Green Bay, so for instance, last year, I think Jimmy Garoppolo could have won some games with Green Bay too. I will say Green Bay's defense a lot of the seasons has been atrocious. I don't think they've helped Aaron Rodgers over there, but I don't think New England has either. They're both great quarterbacks. They're 2 of the greatest of all time, but Tom Brady's the best. And the idea that he's not is absolutely ridiculous and laughable, and I don't just say this because he's my favorite athlete of all time. I say it because it's the truth. Thank you, guys.